This is a video about work planes, what they are and how to utilize them in Autodesk Inventor, and we're also going to do some lofting together in Inventor. So out of our PLTW curriculum, you notice work planes are continuous two-dimensional planes that can be used to establish sketch planes. So ultimately you could say a plane is any surface where 2 points lie. So if you have 1 point and 2 points, those points can be connected by a line, and therefore they're resting on a plane. Sometimes when I teach about planes, I just kind of describe them to students as windows, if you will, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about when we go into Inventor. So if we load Inventor, I'm just going to go up to New Part File. I don't really care about units for what we're going to do today. There's this little shortcut up here with the arrow down, and I'm going to go down to Part. And when we go into Part, you'll notice it automatically has us in 2D because we're looking at the word front. I'm going to click on my house, and it's going to flip us to an isometric view. Now within each part, you have an origin folder. And I'm going to go through and drag my mouse. I have not clicked, but dragging my mouse over the top of these, and you have 3 invisible work planes. And you'll notice each work plane has 2 of the letters of each of the 3 axis lines, X, Y, and Z. For the sake of what we're going to do, we're going to turn on the visibility of the XY plane. I'm going to right-click on that XY plane and go down to visibility. Now, you're going to see once we do that up here, there's something that says work features. You have work plane. I'm just resting my mouse on top of these. You can see that I have a work plane feature, I have a work axis feature right here, and I also have a work point feature right here. Now this right down here gets into the user coordinate system of X, Y, and Z. We can get more into that as time goes on. So we're going to click on the plane feature, and I'm just going to drag my mouse down here, and without clicking, you're going to notice that automatically when I rest this on the side, you can see this kind of other surface rectangle show up around the outside. I'm going to click and hold down, and I'm holding down, and I'm going to drag that off this way. And you're going to notice it gives me a distance of dragging planes off of one another. So I'm going to put in the number 1 and hit enter. And I have a plane that is a distance of 1 off the side. We're going to make a total of 4 of these. We're going to go back up to plane, click on the side of this plane, click and hold down, and drag off. And automatically I have a distance of 1. I'm going to hit enter. Let's go back up to plane again. I'm on this side. And I'm going to drag it off this way, put in a distance of 1, and hit enter. You'll notice if I go to my side view now, I have these 2-dimensional shapes. It's like we're looking at sides of pieces of paper. Let's do this together. We're going to go to our pencil, and we're going to choose the very first XY plane. Notice when it says XY, I can click on that. So let's click on XY, and we automatically get our origin point. Let's come up here to circle, click on your origin, and let's just draw a circle. I tell you what, I'll make this circle 0.5 and hit enter. And let's go to finish sketch. And you're going to see that circle sitting right there. Let's go back to our pencil. Let's click on our second work plane. Let's go up to our rectangle command. Let's go down to 2-point center. And I'm going to click on my middle here, and I'm going to drag out. And let's make this go inside. So let's say 0.2, and I'm going to hit tab, and I'm going to say by 0.3, and I'm going to hit enter. And we have ourselves this vertical rectangle. And let's say finish sketch. Notice we have a shape on one plane and a shape on another plane. We're going to use the project geometry tool for the next thing we're going to do. Let's go to pencil, and let's click on our next work plane. I'll call it work plane 2. And we're going to use project geometry. Click on your project geometry tab and click on the circle. And you're going to notice you have this yellow circle show up. That's projected geometry. Let's right click and say OK. Click on your house. You're going to notice now we have projected that circle now onto this plane. It's like an overhead projector we're projecting onto another surface. Let's go back to our front view. Let's click on rectangle, and let's go down to polygon. And let's go ahead and let's make a pentagon. Let's change that to a 5. And I'm going to come in here to the middle, and I'm going to snap to my origin, and I'm going to come out and I want to snap to that yellow circle. So I'm just going to snap to that yellow circle and say done, and go to finish sketch. And look at what we have. We have the circle, we have the rectangle, and we have ourselves a polygon right here. Let's go to pencil. Let's click on our last work plane. And we're going to flip this way. You know what, for fun, let's come down here and let's do a triangle. You can use polygon for triangle. So I'm just going to put in 3 instead of 5. Let's click on our origin here in the middle, and let's just make a shape. Doesn't matter what size it is. Just click and just make a triangle. Doesn't matter what size. Let's say done, and let's go to finish sketch. You're going to notice what you have now is we have a circle, a rectangle, a pentagon, and a triangle. And we're now going to loft all these things together. These shapes are going to morph into one another. So let's click on loft. When loft comes up, there's sections and rails. We're going to do sections. Click on click to add, and click on your circle. Click on click to add. Click on your rectangle, and you'll notice these green lines show up that they are morphing into one another. Click on click to add. You have to click on the side, and you have to click inside, because there's two shapes here. There's a circle and there's a pentagon. Click inside the pentagon. As that shows up, click inside the pentagon. Go to click to add again. Click your triangle. You're going to notice this all is morphing into each other now. You can see these green lines describing the flow of the object. Say OK. Now what you have, if we want to grab our global rotate button, is you have this thing kind of like a vase. Kind of looks like some kind of a, like flower vase or something like that, or even some kind of column. So you can see these 4 planes are on. I don't want these 4 planes to stay on. Let's right click and say OK. And I'm going to right click on my XY plane and turn off its visibility. Come to the left of work plane 3 and click on these triangles that will point them down at an angle. You can right click on each one of these and turn off their visibility. Now they're always going to be there. Those are just light switches you've turned on and off. So notice how we've lofted this. One way that's kind of cool to do this in a class setting is you can have the kids make vacuum cleaner attachments. Anything that goes from one shape and morphs into the other. You can do a lot of really neat stuff with work planes and with lofting. So this is just a video to understand how you can offset work planes and how the fact that these work planes already exist before you even sketched. These work axis lines already exist and your center point already exists. We also learned how to loft. Loft is just taking one shape and morphing it into another. Have a good day.